Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and I'm bringing you a little bonus video this weekend because ColourPop is having their BFF sale and it's 30% off site-wide. It looks like the main exclusions are just the 3 most recent launches, so all the new Super Shocks that came out for the birthday release, and then the One and Done collection, and this most recent release that had the new matte bronzers, the new So Glossy lip glosses, and the new mega palette called Getting Fresh. I have reviews and swatches and comparisons for all of that stuff already on my channel. So if you're curious about those things, haven't seen those yet, make sure you check out those videos. But it seems like pretty much everything else is included in this sale, even their collaborations, which is pretty cool because usually the major intellectual property collabs like Star Wars and all that stuff would be excluded. I want to give you some of my recommendations for my personal favorite things for a little shopping cart video. I love doing these shopping cart videos, and these sale recommendations are the absolute perfect way to do so. So I'm going to be doing 2 different carts, the neutral lover cart and a color lover cart. Both are going to be under $100. So I just want to give you a little structure for my recommendations. I want to point out here before we start that you cannot use coupon codes on your sale items. It makes the price go up. I mean, they'll let you physically apply them, but it does make the total of your cart go up. So definitely don't use any coupon codes because you can't combine offers. But I will put an affiliate link in the description box, and that's sort of the alternative way to support the channel during the sale. If you're interested in doing so, obviously no pressure. It helps the channel run and I really appreciate it. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, regardless, definitely don't use any codes on your sale items. And I'll show you what happens later on. I'll apply one to one of my imaginary carts here, and you'll see what happens to the price. So now let's go over to the ColourPop site, and I will walk you through the process of building each one of these carts. I'm going to start with the neutral lover cart. So here we are on the ColourPop site, BFF sale. That means these sale prices do apply to Soul Body and Fourth Ray as well. I think skincare is a little bit more individualized, so I'm not really going to be recommending any of that stuff. I'm just sticking to makeup here. I feel like that's a little bit more universal. And speaking of universal, I want to point out there's free international shipping on orders over $60. So both of my carts would get free international shipping. So just keep that in mind for my international friends. Let's start building the neutral lovers cart. Now there is one item that I'm going to put in both of my carts, and that's one of these brush sets. ColourPop brushes are among my favorites, and these sets are already a great value, but when you can get them at a discount, it is a crazy good value. So I would pick up for sure one of these brush rolls. I'm going to be using the Stone Cold Fox set here, but all of their brush sets are great. They are completely cruelty-free and vegan. They have synthetic brushes. Look at all of these brushes you get here. Everything for eyes and face. I absolutely love these brush sets. They're travel friendly. They're just a great value. So I'm definitely adding that Stone Cold brush set to my cart. And I'll use the same one in both one of my carts, but really all of the brush rolls are great. Now let's go pick out some lip colors for my neutral lover cart. First, I'm going to go to one of my personal favorite colors, favorite formulas, and that's the Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain in the shade Sugar Snap. I know I have talked about this one a bunch. It's been in a bunch of favorites. I just love it. I wear it all the time. I actually should probably buy a replacement because of how much I use it. That one's definitely going in the bag. And I'm also going to go right on over to one of my other all-time favorite lip formulas, and that is the Luxe Lipstick. I love these. The cream finish is my personal favorite, although the others are nice too, but I really just am gravitating towards the cream finish Luxe lipsticks the most. So I'm going to scroll down to one of my really OG favorite cream Luxe lipstick shades. This is a super easy, peachy little neutral called Appy. It is on the lighter side of the nude, so you may want to go for a different shade if you are not as pale pasty as I am. My last lip color recommendation is something that's been a long time favorite for me, and you know that I love it because it was in my favorites bundle way back in like 2020 when I did a favorites collection with ColourPop. It's the shade called Still Crazy. I love this really mid-tone rosy pink. It looks good on everybody. And it's just a really flattering, fun, comfy little lip color. So that stays at the top of my favorites, and I'm definitely going to recommend that here in my neutral lover cart, although I think just about anybody would love it. Now let's go pick some blush. I love the Super Shock blushes. I think this is a really special formula. It's something that I continuously go back to. I also had this shade called Prenup in my favorites collection, and this remains a favorite. It's a nice satiny, more neutral pink. Today I'm going with Between the Sheets. This is a shade that I have used up, and I've actually panned this shade. I also have hit pan on Prenup, and so, you know, these are both easily recommends for me. But today I'm adding Between the Sheets to my cart, and now I'm going to go get a Super Shock highlighter. Super Shock blush plus Super Shock highlighter is one of my absolute favorite cheek combos, something I consistently wear both on and off camera, and I love the Super Shock cheeks. One of my longtime favorites is Flexitarian. I've been wearing Lunch Money a lot lately, but Flexitarian is really just an OG favorite for me. I would highly recommend really any and all Super Shock highlighters, but these two are my go-tos. So I'm going to add Flexitarian to cart. I think the Between the Sheets and Flexitarian combo is just so classic. It's such an easy go-to for me when I'm doing a really neutral look. And now let's go to pick out some eye products. First, let's go to Jelly Mud Shadows. I love these. These are another really special product for ColourPop. And again, I would recommend pretty much any of these, but for kind of a neutral with a twist, I'm going to go with the shade Protocol from the most recent Star Wars collection. It's got a little duochrome shifty gold finish to it, so it just adds a little something extra, but it's not super colorful and intimidating if you're not somebody that loves color or feels comfy with color. And speaking of that exact same reasoning, that's why I'm putting Rooftop Cocktails in my neutral lovers cart. This is a little brown-green duochrome. There you can see, oh, that's my arm. Look at that. That's me. Hey. I love this type of shade for a neutral lover because it can really turn up the volume on a still neutral look without being so over the top or maybe putting you out of your comfort zone. This is one of my favorite Super Shock shadows right now, so I'm definitely adding that to cart. And I also will... The other two shades that I'm recommending in my neutral cart are this one, DGAF, which looks so much cooler in person than in their picture. And the same goes for the other shade that I'm going to put in. Yes, I love Super Shock, okay? There's a bunch of Super Shock in here. The shade Sailor is so much cooler in person than it looks on their website. Here it just looks like a pretty basic, peachy, kind of bland, boring shade. Let me tell you, in person, this is so cool. It's like a sheer creamy color, but it has a bunch of shifting glitters in it. It's a great topper, or if you just want to add a little pizzazz to your lid without doing anything too crazy. I love this shade. It's totally underrated. It's so much prettier in person. So I know I got a Super Shock heavy cart here, but you know, that's my favorite things. I think that's what's special from ColourPop. So that's definitely what I'm going to recommend. And last but not least, I think the sale is a perfect time to pick up a mega palette. These are their most expensive palettes. So, if you can get a little 30% off, I think that's a great deal. So I'm going to recommend the Smokin' Roses palette. I do love Bare Necessities. It is one of my most used neutral palettes in my entire collection. I also think Stone Cold Fox is great. But Smokin' Roses is a little bit newer. It's a little bit different take on a neutral palette. So that's why I'm putting it in my recommendations today. I do think a lot of the mega palettes are worth purchasing if you've had your eye on them, but I think Smokin' Roses really rounds out this entire cart. I think all of the products in here could work well together to give you a good variety of different neutral looks. So that's why I compiled this cart the way that I did. And these are a bunch of my really favorite ColourPop things. So here you can see the entire cart comes in at $95.90. There will be tax. That will vary depending on where you live, but this cart will qualify for free shipping regardless of if you're in the US or international. So, it still should come in right around that $100 mark. I'm going to show you what happens. If you do the coupon code, it bumps everything up to its regular price and then takes 10% off. So it makes the price of the cart go up. Definitely don't want to do that. You definitely want to take advantage of the 30% off for the sale. So no coupon codes. That's it. An influencer is telling you not to use their coupon code. I just want you to get the best deal possible. Now, let's go build that Color Lovers cart. We're back to the site with an empty little shopping cart now. And we already talked about this. I'm recommending a brush roll to everybody. I think this is a great deal. So definitely add that to the cart. And we're going to go pick some lips. Now, ColourPop doesn't have crazy colorful lip colors, and they do have a handful of less neutral, not a ton, and some of them are just not my personal favorites, so we sort of have to mitigate the difference there between what they have to offer and I only recommend my actual favorites to you. So we're going to go over to the Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain again. And this actually is one of my favorite of their more colorful. It's the shade Cherry Up. It's this sort of berryish red color, and you can wear it more sheared out or more built up if you want a more intense red lip look. I love this. I actually went out to dinner on a little girls' night out with one of my friends, and I wore this lip color to jazz up a more neutral eye look and just a more plain black dress, and I didn't worry about it coming off. I just love this formula. It wears beautifully. It's easy to touch up. Cherry Up is one of my go-to reds right now. And I also like that it feels seasonally appropriate no matter what season we're in. Can look cute in the summer, fall, winter. So, I love that. Now, this is more of a fall lip color for me that I'm going to recommend next. I had to go back to the Luxe lipsticks. I absolutely love them. It's this shade called Gallop. Now, I know that technically this is not a neutral. I know this isn't a colorful shade, but I like to wear this with some more colorful looks. If I want something that's a little bit darker, a little bit beyond my Your Lips But Better type of shade, especially with a really smoky, vampy look, I love the shade Gallop. So while it's not a colorful shade, I think it would be great for a color lover, if that makes sense. Now, going back to my favorite reds of all time, I love this shade Byron Babe. It's sold out. I wish I could recommend it in my Color Lovers cart. It's a gorgeous pink shade, but they don't have it. Another one of my favorites, Songbird, sold out already. Hopefully all of my recommendations aren't sold out by the time I actually get this video edited and uploaded. Now, I don't wear red lipstick a lot, but over the years, one red lipstick that has remained at the top of my list is the Matte X Formula Lippy Sticks in the shade Trust Me. This Matte X formula is so comfy, it's so long wearing, it's so easy to apply precisely. This is just the epitome of wearable red lips to me. So Trust Me is always at the top of my brighter color lipstick loves list. Wow, that's a tongue twister right there. Now, let's go pick out a Super Shock blush for my Color Lovers cart. They have a lot of great colorful, brighter, just outside of your usual muted, dusty rose, pinky type of color. They have some really bright corally colors. They have a couple of nice like orangey type of shades. I really think all of these are great. The Super Shock formula is so buildable that you can wear it really, really dramatic, or you can go a little more sheared out. I like this one doozy. I'm really into a more corally type of color, so I'm gonna choose doozy for my Color Lovers cart. But I like a lot of these. Cheerio, chamomile, especially if you have a deeper skin tone, are great options. But any of these brights look great on pretty much everybody. So I'm putting doozy in my cart. And now I'm going to recommend a Super Shock highlighter for my Color Lovers. This one called Hippo is so cool. It's this icy lavender, and it doesn't really have a very glittery finish. It doesn't have a really duochrome finish. This is a straight up icy lavender highlighter. This looks really cute on the eyes as well too. So I feel like this is a great pick for somebody who wants something a little bit extra, a little bit out of the box. If Flexitarian has you yawning, then you'll probably love Hippo. Now for eyes, for my Color Lovers, I gotta go over to the Jelly Much shadows. Any of these three green Jelly Much from the In the Limelight collection, I really, really like. The shade Scandal is a lot like one of my favorite Super Shocks called Moonwalk. It's a great golden olive type of color. Heartthrob is a bright acid lime. This one called Memoir is one that I really, really like as well. So any of these I would highly recommend. I just straight up recommend Jelly Much anyway. And I have a whole video about the Jelly Much shadows. If you are struggling with them, or if yours dry up, I'll show you how to revive them. But I love the Jelly Much. I'm definitely adding one of these to the Color Lover cart. I'm just choosing Memoir here because I think it'll work well with some of the other shades that I'm going to recommend. But I recommend any of them. I think they're all great. Speaking of thinking they're all great, Super Shock shadows. I love them. I'm choosing Ripple for my Color Lover cart. First and foremost, I am immediately drawn to this. This is such a beautiful, shifty purple shade. It has a blue duochrome flip to it. I love it. I love this. I love all the Super Shocks, but I'm a purple lover. I need Ripple. Imagine Ripple and Hippo used together. Anyway. Empire is a great one. Moonwalk, I was just talking about. I love that. Any and all of the purple shades. Dream Lover was in my favorites bundle. You know I love that. The purples always get me. The purples have my heart. But I think that a lot of their brightly colored shades are a great way to infuse some special sparkly color into your collection. And the shades are so beautiful. You can see from the swatches, from their little eye models, they're gorgeous. Now, this shade Bumblebee is one of my longtime favorites. It's a little bit more golden in person than it looks in this photo here, but I think this would be great to use with Memoir and then that doozy blush. I know, I'm just building looks in my head already. I'm supposed to be building a cart. I'm already building looks. Hey, there's my arm again. I love this shade On Set. This is such a bright turquoise. It's gorgeous. I love it. On Set and Rooftop Cocktails are a great combo too, but I already used Rooftop Cocktails, so I'm trying to not reuse my same favorites over and over again. Now, for a mega palette, for a color lover, I'm recommending It's a Mood. I love the jewel tones in this palette, despite the fact that it has several pressed glitters, which I do quite despise. I just love the color scheme of this palette so much that I'm still drawn to it. I still recommend it. And you know what? When you can grab it on a sale, then it doesn't feel like so much of a waste. And look how beautifully the Super Shocks that I picked would pair with this. Imagine a deep jewel tone look with that Gallop Luxe Lipstick. I absolutely love this color lover cart. I loved my neutral lover cart. Honestly, so many of my favorite longtime and new favorite ColourPop products are available for this sale that I had a really hard time narrowing it down. But I did manage to get this Color Lover cart for $94.50. Again, you will get some tax or maybe customs fees if you're international, but you'll get free shipping. And there's so many fun combos, so many go-to products. I just love the way this turned out. I can imagine 100 different looks right off the bat with just these products. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video that they haven't really said anywhere when this sale is going to end. I don't have any inside information. I didn't even know that this sale was coming up. I never know when the site-wide sales are going to come up. So I don't know how long this is going to last. And I just want to apologize in advance if this video made you want something that has gone out of stock between the time I was filming and when this is actually uploaded. I'm sure a lot of people are clamoring to the site for the sale. So, you know, there will be more sales, there will be more products. So if you're not able to shop now, or if something that you wanted is out of stock, do not despair. There will always be more makeup. So don't let yourself get swept up into a FOMO frenzy. But, you know, if you've had your eye on anything or you're just ready to treat yourself this weekend, the site-wide sale is a great time to do it. I will link everything down in the description box. If anything struck your fancy, you'll be able to click right over to the site. Remember, don't use my code. Not used to saying that, but don't use any codes so that you can get the best possible deal. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these carts I built. Which one are you drawn to? Do we have any of the same favorites? Did I not get around to something that you really, really love? Make sure you leave your favorites and your recommendations down in the comments so that we can check out your favorites too, because I always love to hear what you think about things. Make sure you leave all your thoughts down there in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! And I love your face. Okay, bye.